Hey, this is Livy spilling all the political tea. Straight politics, no chaser. You know the go-to for all your political needs. Think the Bodega Boys, but political. It's millennial politics served piping hot. It's episode one, so I thought it would be befitting to set the ground rules so you never misunderstand me and always put me in context. It is very important in life to understand people within the context of who they are, what makes them tick, where they are from, when they grew up, as in the time period, why they do what they do, their purpose, and how do they become this way. Basically, the five W's of people. It's like writing an article. You need the five W's and the H. So, this episode is to preface me, put me into context, and let you in behind the curtain of why my perspective is what it is and why it's not really arguable. You can agree or disagree, but my perspective is unique, fully developed, yet ever growing, and it is my own. This is my platform to give you the political tea, and I want to do so candidly, honestly, directly, and even maybe provocatively. But it is important to me that you understand my why, how I came to these conclusions, and why these topics are extremely important. With that being said, here's Livy's Politics 101. Let me be clear. I'm a little black girl from the South Bronx, the poorest congressional district in the country, who grew up idolizing Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton. From her headbands to her pantsuits, I copied everything. She is everything. Thus, today, I am a millennial who is still most definitely with her. So much so that I bombed the interview for my dream job because I was working for Hillary for America in Miami during her 2016 campaign. Needless to say, I am mad as hell about that election, and every time I talk too much about it, I spiral. But for you, on today, I will spell it out once and for all. I am a Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Al Gore, John Kerry, Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton, Barack Hussein Obama, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., Democrat. I bleed blue, and this shouldn't be so surprising, but in 2024, you never know. I love being a Democrat. I am proud of being a Democrat. I always vote Democrat. I vote the down ticket every time. I never forget the 2000 election. I was 6 years old, and my grandmother took me in the booth to vote with her. And she told me, if you ever don't know who to vote for, click Democrat down the line, pull the lever, and get out the booth. And that philosophy is deeply ingrained in me. I created this podcast because I have witnessed people of all ages have apathy towards politics, disdain for politics, and even fear of politics, like deep rooted trepidation. And I understand it. And I want to help dispel some of that by putting politics in layman terms, making it funny and fun. Like I tell people all the time, if you want a good telenovela, watch the news. It's the greatest Netflix series going. And if you studied history and a little Shakespeare, you know that history always repeats itself, and a lot of politics is predictable. However, I primarily launched this podcast to make and get millennials more politically and civically engaged. I don't see enough of us moving towards the pulpit, i.e., running for office, having these intellectual and philosophical debates, taking up space, and having political podcasts. Maybe the older millennials that are Gen X cusp have begun a little, but not as newly 30 babies. And we need to. We have to. I get it. Our generation has a lot going on. We are the most educated and paid generation, but we're still broke. Can't buy a house, up the wazoo in student loan debt, and truly disgusted with living. Nevertheless, politics. But we have to care and get involved. I actually just saw on Facebook someone I protested with in college is running for office on the West Coast, and I could not be prouder. It's our time. And as Bobby Seale said in his book title, we need to seize it. Politics is important. Politics is everything from the sidewalks to the streetlights. You can't escape it. Thus, you might as well comprehend it and do what you can to make it better. I am a firm believer in JFK's quote, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I don't know. I guess I always feel a little patriotic when a Democrat is in office. We all have a part to play, and we need to play it. And since I no longer organize, mobilize, and protest, maybe I'll tell that story on another episode. This platform is my little form of enlightenment, enrichment, and resistance. So when you listen to me, you can say, oh, she interpreted it that way because she's from the South Bronx, or because she's a black radical feminist, or because she triple majored in African American studies, political science, and newspaper and online journalism, or because she has a law degree. Like, honey, I didn't pull this out of a rabbit's hole. I actually used Google and watched unbiased news, unlike some people with mics. Just tea, no shade. No shade, child. Maybe a little shade. Thus, it's imperative for me to open this podcast by being clear, curt, and concise about who I am in full transparency. Because when you know and are clear about who you are, people can't tell you who you are. Moving forward, the podcast will give you all the political things. If it's hot in the news, I'm on it. However, there will be subjects that I will never touch for various reasons and time constraints. You can't have an opinion about everything. Some things are definitely above or frankly beneath my frame of scope. I also focus on American politics. That's my specialty. I will touch upon global politics if it's relevant to American politics, and I do follow our allies' news and the BBC, etc., but that is not my primary focus. There is enough tea to be spilled on this side of the pond. The episode times may vary. I will not talk for an hour just to talk for an hour. Some podcasts will be short and sweet, clear, curt, and concise, as I like to say, and some will be more lengthier. But I will be posting weekly. What day? I don't know. That depends on the news cycle. Just know that if something pops off, I will be discussing it. Lucky for you and me, it's election season, and the orange demon is definitely demoning. I hope you love my bold, brash, and brazen takes, but even if you don't, know that I'll never lie. Thank you for listening to my political pontification. If you liked it, tell a friend to tell a friend, and please check out my website, thepoliticaltea.com. When you get there, you can generously donate to my chai latte habit. Thanks again.